Good morning, you beautiful, absolutely wonderful Patriots. Now, something I want to do today. I think I'm seeing a huge change, a huge wave turning over in the media that is at 10% right now. And if it keeps going up, it's going to be really good. So big shout out to Stephen A. Smith. Now he's on, sports and doing all that stuff. Originally, I think he's from Philadelphia or used to cover Philadelphia sports. And I've watched him a lot of times on ESPN, this, that, and the other thing. And a lot of times on the sports, I really don't like when sports people like to comment politically. Now, if they could do it off camera, like maybe their own, like Twitter or whatever, that's fine. But when they're on the sports show, I think it needs to, calm down there a little bit. So anyway, I just saw him last night, and I have to comment on this with Jesse Waters. And I watch Fox and CNN, so I try to stay balanced. The cool thing is, I want to see if you guys can give me comments down below if you're seeing what I'm seeing. Now, of course, Stephen A. Smith wants to do a podcast outside of sports. So this is going to give you a little bit of a taste as to what's coming next. So I think he wants to kind of get on Fox. He'll probably be on CNN too. I don't know. But I think he wants to get on Fox, get a promotion, hang out with Jesse for a minute. But I watched him take some questions from Jesse, and I really, really feel this was it's not perfect, but it's in the right direction, because I feel like we need to have a conversation. We need people like me and you out there to, be able to check things out, talk things over, try to find solutions, right? So let's take a look at it, and bear with me, I'll play it for you, and I'm going to play it through. Maybe I'll chime in a little bit, but wait till you see what he says. And I think the door just cracked open a little bit. Stephen A. Smith on Jesse Waters.
Mercy with Stephen A. Smith podcast, and he joins me now. So you're in charge. We're going to make you president. What is the Stephen A. Smith platform to solve the crime and homelessness crisis?
Well, first of all, I did not know you dropped this on me. I certainly didn't know we were going to be talking about this, but I'm game for it. Thank you so much for having me.
So he's saying he didn't know he was going. You think he didn't know this is where this is going? They're not talking about 2017 Eagles winning the Super Bowl. But let's go.
There is no question that a lot of these issues need to be addressed. There is no question that we should be against an extremely progressive agenda that's calling for people to be released from prison on multiple occasions, that's ignoring a lot of crime that's taking place in the streets. There is no doubt about that.
All right, right there. If you're going to reach across the aisle, even if he's, full-blown Democrat, he just reached across the aisle.
I don't vibe with you, Jesse Waters, who I respect, is that when you talk about politicians themselves being innocent, they're not innocent in all of this. A matter of fact, it's something.
Just so you know, I watched this, and I watched this live, and I believe they might have had a little bit of, they didn't hear what each other was saying here for a minute, but he just called out politicians by saying he believes they need to be called out.
Instances, the division that exists and has existed for so long has contributed to kind of some of the nonsense that's been taking place in the streets. It doesn't excuse it, doesn't mean it doesn't have to be addressed.
Where do we disagree? I feel like we're in agreement on everything.
Okay, I'm just saying, you said earlier in your great monologue how the politicians themselves were like innocent for crying out loud.
No, I'm not saying they're innocent. I didn't say that. I said they're acting like they're the victims when you call them out for not doing their jobs.
Well, some of them, actually, a lot of them deserve the criticism that they're getting. There is no doubt about that.
I am so thankful somebody from the other side is saying this. Now, of course, it's on Fox News, so I don't know if they have to do anything where they kind of prep Stephen a little bit. But Stephen tells you a little bit later on that he wants to do podcasting, and he says he wants to be open-minded, listening, and being able to talk back and forth and solve problems. So this, by the way, I don't agree with Stephen A. on maybe 49%. I love him to death. I respect him as, what he does for a living. But there's a lot of things I don't quite, But I totally appreciate this right now. It's like still blowing me away.
That, but I would definitely be big time when it comes to addressing crime in the streets.
Okay, good.
I know the subway
Good.
system in New York City. You're damn right. I got a problem with that. Something needs to be. I'm a native of New York City.
Yeah.
I took the F and the E train all the time. I wouldn't want my family traveling on the subway right now.
Same with me,
No,
not
but what I'm
anymore.
saying,
Do
I
you
was
take
in-
the subway anymore? I feel like you don't.
Well, I don't.
You don't.
I don't. But that's only because when you get popular and stuff like that,
You're
you
too-
try to avoid crowds.
You're
But
too popular to take the subway.
I was in L.A. The homelessness that exists there. I got an issue with that. Certainly, when you look at Gavin.
I mean, think about it. Gavin Newsom is in control of California, and people are intense on streets, and we're sending money to the Ukraine.
Newsom and some of the policies that he's put forth, you're talking about a lot of different things that need to be addressed. I don't agree with everything, and I'm not about to pretend that I do.
Okay, I want to
Okay.
play some sound because a lot of people have been talking badly about Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you're with her or against her, but this is what your boy Bill Maher said about her possibly
good.
getting dumped by Joe. Listen.
It's very hard to take the nomination away from the president.
Yeah.
Let me just say, Bill Maher is probably the guy that opened the door for Stephen A. Because Bill Maher actually probably 6-8 months ago started really changing his course of opinion, maybe even a year ago. But it was hard for me to watch him. But now I can watch Bill Maher as an open-ended person in my mind that this is good stuff that he's trying to get out. So Bill Maher starts it. Now Stephen A. Smith is the second tier of some of these people that are famous or that have big platforms coming out to talk about what's morally and constitutionally right.
That's not going to happen.
A sitting
yeah.
president. And what I could see is replacing the vice president, because
Listen to the crowd.
yeah, she's
That's a Bill Maher crowd.
Hasn't panned
anywhere,
out.
and it didn't seem to work out. And I don't know. That's been done before on a ticket. I just think she's a bad politician, and I think she's a very bright person.
You know, we all know that you can't be like uneducated to get up in life. You have to have some form of smarts, intellect, work ethic. You got to get there. And I will give Kamala Harris the one benefit that I do believe she's a smart woman. Now, what these guys say right here, as far as like maybe she's not given the opportunity or what, I don't know about that. But I'll tell you one thing Kamala Harris isn't. She is not a patriot.
She's bad. Do you think she's bad?
I'm not going to go that far. I will say this to you. I think we got to remember the words that he said. He said she wasn't a great politician. He also acknowledged that she's very smart and he believes she's capable, but she's just not doing a great job as a politician. I, believe it or not, I think that she's a highly intelligent woman that unfortunately doesn't have an opportunity to showcase her intelligence.
Really? She's got the second biggest job in the country.
Well,
she hasn't had the opportunity.
Can I address that?
Please.
When you work for an administration,
Yeah.
and you've alluded to other people running the administration,
Yes.
and you have all of these people literally trying to tell you at the very least what to do, that's problematic.
So
When-
you're
Now, hold on a minute. Kamala Harris has no excuse because number 45, President 45, broke the mold on what you can or cannot do of what people are telling you. Now, I know she's the VP, but if she was a patriot, she would find better things, better ways to communicate what America wants. And if you can't do that, you're a leftoid or you're not a patriot.
saying it's Joe Biden's fault she's a bad vice
No,
president.
no, no. Ultimately, it comes down to her. I can't absolve her from accountability. You asked for that seat. You're in that seat. I think she needs to do a better job. There's no question about it. Because a lot of times I'm looking at Kamala Harris and I'm just saying, you are a highly intelligent and accomplished woman. Will you tell us what you truly, truly think instead of giggling all the daggone time every time
giggles a
somebody
lot.
asks you a question? She can bring a lot if she had this.
Stephen A is out on the high dive right now. He's about to jump off. He's going to be doing his podcast. So this is where, leave me a comment if you want, or at BFES 56 on Twitter. Follow me there. But leave me a comment if you think this is the tide starting to turn out for morals and Constitution. Forget red, blue, whatever, Democrat, Republican. Is this the start of the turning of the tide?
As far as I'm concerned, I believe if she had the freedom to truly, truly speak her mind and be as raw and as authentic as she wants to be, I think she's been encouraged not to. I think as a result, be trying to disguise what you truly feel, you get caught. If she ain't Jesse Waters, she ain't Stephen A. Smith, she ain't gonna just say what the hell she feels. She's gonna say what they want her to parrot, and as a result of that, she finds herself, I think, looking worse than she actually is on many occasions.
So before you jump the gun, of course, Stephen A. sort of was the apologist at first. But he did back it up with telling it how it really is, how you and I see this Kamala out in public. He just said it. Now, does that mean ESPN or, all the sports are going to look at him as a traitor? We're going to find out, right? We're going to find out. But he could be, and, follow him. Follow Stephen A. Smith. He's an amazing writer. He's awfully boisterous on TV, but he's not stupid. And I will back him 100% if he starts getting both our sides' messages out there with a little bit of calm, dignity, a little bit of foresight, and bring the country together. My brothers and sisters out there, here's a man standing up for us. Come to the red side. Come to the constitutional moral side. We can do this together.
Your favorite Fox News host?
Well, we get some here.
Believe it or not. You're a close second to Sean Hannity. I have to admit it. I can't deny it. I've known the guy for years. I don't agree with either y'all at least 50% of the time.
Well,
but
you
y'all
agree
do
with
make
me
good points.
100% on this show.
Well, listen, I will say this. Y'all do make a lot of that. Listen, I am not a Republican. I'm not a conservative, but I am a common sense individual. And when you're right, you're right. And I'm not going to deny that some of the things that y'all say are on point. Right. I think y'all let some of the Republicans off the hook sometimes.
Who am I letting off the hook?
I didn't say you did that today.
You're not going to get CNN, MSNBC. This is where I got to give Fox credit because I know they got a business model too. So they're going to do some fake news here and there and whatever. But this is the bare bones of where you got to give credit to where credit's due. Because they got a black man who is a lefty on their show, and they're having a good conversation. And nobody's throwing mud. And they're having fun. This is where news has to get back to. My opinion. This is exactly what we want to watch on our evening news.
Lengthy conversation,
okay.
Jesse.
We don't have time for that. We have time to plug your new podcast. What's that going to be
about? Here it is.
Well, listen, I've always wanted to expand beyond the parameters of sports and get into politics, news, pop culture, entertainment, social issues, what have you. This Wednesday, I'm interviewing Chris Cuomo. Friday, I'm interviewing Sean Hannity.
Wow.
And I just want my podcast to be, of course, I'm going to give you my monologue, my opening monologue like you do. I'm going to give you closing comments. But when it comes to interviews, I want my podcast to be a place where both sides of the aisle know they can come and they can have their views expressed and heard without somebody trying to stab them in the back or anything like that. So I'm
there you go. See what I'm saying? Stephen, if you do this, I'm telling you right now, Steve, if you do this right, you are going to be one of the biggest podcasters. You're going to be up there with the Rogans, the Crowders, Scott Adams. You're going to be up there because all we want, all us Americans, our patriot hearts want, is a good debate with good planning, being able to, siphon out the good stuff when 2, 3, 8 people talk, and we just want truth. And if you can do this, I'm on your team, Stephen. I will plug you as much as I can. I will do everything I can to make sure that you start getting up there. I'm not a really big channel at all, but I do have quite a few on Twitter, and I will definitely do what I got to do. So on that note, I just wanted to let you guys see this. Leave me a comment in there. I'm going to throw it up on TikTok. You can follow me all over the place. I'll put some stuff in the down in the box down there to let you guys follow me wherever you can. And I got good people, Dave and Leah, They're managing the Twitter rooms. We got great hashtag rooms. You got Pumas, Cheetahs, Lions, Tigers. They're all there. So look me up on Twitter, and I will see you on the flip. I have a really, really good feeling that maybe some positive is just about starting to turn. Stop the mudslinging, and let's get to bringing the plan. Kiss, love, hug a veteran.